Ready?
Ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sing on the Rocks. I'm your host, Lo Castillo, and welcome back to another episode. I have a returning guest with me. What did we call it last time?
I was a silent partner.
Silent Alan is back.
I was a silent partner.
Silent partner. Silent Alan is back.
That was the title that was given to me.
You know what's funny is that whenever I was creating that thumbnail, that name was just there, and I think it said like Steve or something, but I think Annette was the one who would call you Alan for whatever. I don't know how it came to be.
I have no idea.
I have no idea, but
I mean, I've heard a couple of stories. I guess it was a sitcom or it was something somebody said online.
We never got Alan from like that. I think it was like more of like in the creative processing. Like
that could have been it. That could have been it.
And I was just like, Silent Alan. But we have Silent Alan back with us, so thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm good. I'm great.
How have you been?
I've been good lately.
Yeah?
Everything's been on the up and up.
Good. Have you missed being on the show?
Oh, yeah. Every
you
week.
Always text me and you're like, when am I coming back on the show?
Oh, yeah, that sounds just like me. Put me on.
I literally was just like, Alan was over here and I was like literally, hey, I'm about to film, so you're gonna be on today's episode again. So we do have an exciting episode. Will you take off her chain? Sasha, go lay down. There she go again with the. There she go again. Oh, and then there's trouble.
Trouble.
Now they're just going. She was in her bed. She was fine.
Look in there.
Good night. Sleep tight. We gotta put the girls away. Because Sasha started a train reaction.
A train reaction.
Right? Is that what it is?
It's a chain.
Oh,
reaction.
A chain reaction.
I mean, I like train reaction. Sounds kind of naughty, really.
Oh my gosh. It's so hot in here. I don't know. For some reason, my AC stopped turning on. And I'm sweating. And I don't know how long I'm going to stay nice. But we have a really nice episode today. Is the single life really better? What are your thoughts?
I think everything has its pros and its cons, and it all really depends on what, like, where you are in life. So, obviously, in your early to mid 20s, it's better to be single. There's so many options, and it's better for you to, I guess, shop around before you know, because a lot of times you don't know what it is that you want.
Yeah.
What it is that you like, what you're attracting, and or if you have to kind of make mistakes along the way to know like where to go from there. So but yeah, later in life, I mean, once you get to a certain age, you should already know what it is you want and where you want to be in relationship wise.
Yeah. At what age do you think men are starting to think about something serious with someone?
I would say late 20s, early 30s, somewhere around there, for the most part.
Do you think that's average, or do you think it's more like a cultural thing?
Might be cultural, but I would assume it's average. I mean, there's gonna be 8 out of every 10 guys are gonna be like, I want to settle down. I want to, they might not say it openly, but it's like you can see it in like the just their demeanor and like the way they're moving in life, you know. Like it's basically the next step. Like when they get comfortable in life to where like they're financially stable, they're going to go get a house, and then the next thing would be like securing that partner that they want to move forward with and like start life with.
Do you think that men start to really want to think about settling down when they have achieved their financial goals, or do you think that if they do it prematurely while they're chasing their dreams, that they are setting themselves up for failure?
I wouldn't say they're setting up for failure, but there's a higher probability that it won't work out, because financially, like in any relationship, there's going to be problems. Like say if she wants to do something and you can't finance it, and or you've probably put something in her head to make her think that you're
a lifestyle,
a certain lifestyle, and you can't keep up with it, and she might leave, she might not, she might stick around and help you through it. But that's why most men want to be financially stable before they move forward, because it's like, who wouldn't want a nice house, 2-car garage, big grill in the back, long big backyard?
Yeah.
Like, who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, no, for sure. Did you know 50% of adults in the US are single, and Gen Z and millennials are delaying marriage by almost a decade compared to boomers?
That's because the boomers got married right out of high school.
I feel like because it was so instilled in the women's head that you need to be married and have a kids by this certain age, you know what I mean? Like your dreams and aspirations are on the back burner because family is the goal, right? And I feel like that's kind of how they were raised.
Well, it was also different eras. Like back in those days, you had to grow up a lot quicker. If you got to realize like there was wars like every like 15 years. So a lot of these guys were going into
the war,
the Army, the Marines, or whatever, right out of high school. So then, what do they tell them to get out of high school? It's like, you go to the Marines. If you're married, you'll get more money from the government. Yeah. So they're jumping into marriage,
having kids,
right. And by the time they're like 40, sometimes they're already grandparents, and that's just what was instilled in them. It's just because they had to grow up a lot faster than, I guess, I'm not grown.
He said, "I'm not grown."
Yeah, I just want to put that out there. Anybody that knows me knows I'm just a big baby.
You're just a big baby.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you consider yourself as? Do you think you're a traditional man, or do you think you're a 50-50 man? What kind of man do you think you are?
What's a 50-50 man?
Like 50-50 is like the woman pay like 50-50 on everything.
Oh, you mean like financially? Like if I were to be,
because like normally back then they were traditional men, like they paid for everything. Yeah.
I would consider myself traditional only because like I was raised that way. It's like both of my parents were like, if you invite, you're paying. And even if a woman invites you, like say she wants to meet up or whatever, you're the man, so you need to pay automatically. So that was always instilled in me, and I still feel awkward to this day if a woman pays and I'm out. You know this firsthand. So yeah, I would say traditional. I mean, I'm not knocking the whole 50-50 thing, but I just don't know how I'd feel.
I've done 50-50 and I won't do it again.
Yeah. Like my thing is like, there's always going to be financial struggles, and like say there's going to be harsh times, like say I'm out of a job or whatever and we're living together and I can't keep my what's the word I'm looking for?
Yours end.
Well, not my end, because I would be paying for everything.
Yeah.
So say something were to happen to me.
Okay.
And whatever money that is coming in is basically paying for like the medical bills and other things. I would think whoever I am with at the moment would understand, like, well, he can't do everything on his own.
I mean, I think, okay, for instance, like, I think if that were to happen, I think your partner or the person that you're with should obviously, like, help out and not, like, let y'all die and struggle in a hole, like, I'm not capable of, right? But I mean, obviously, if you weren't, like, being proactive and trying to find something different, or say you got hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like say you got hurt and you weren't physically able to go back to work. So then, I mean, you're with this person. I mean, they didn't, just say, I can't work. Then, obviously that's a different scenario. And, you love this person. So,
I mean, but a lot of the times,
some people will walk away. Some people are like, no, this is not what I signed up.
It's a higher probability for them to walk away.
I know this is kind of getting off topic, but I know that, like, when people get really, like, terminally ill, like, say your partner gets, like, cancer or something, and then the other person that, like, this happens in marriages too, and, like, they can't deal with it, and that's sad.
Well, that's why you have to really, really, like, choose the person.
But you don't know.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's
you don't know until the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, you won't know until it punches you straight in the face.
It's just like being with somebody and they're so financially capable of living a certain lifestyle, and then all of a sudden it's like Schitt's Creek. They were living the high life, and then they got everything taken away from them, and then they were just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you gonna stick around and
that's really when you find out, like, who that person really is. And that's what I'm saying, like, that's the only downfall to the whole traditional lifestyle, like, relationship. Because like, say, like I said, say my foot gets cut off, right? And depending on my line of work, and say there's only certain things I can do now. It goes from having let's just hypothetically, like, a 4,200 square foot house, 2-car garage, white picket fence, big yard, land or whatever, 2-3 cars, like I wouldn't say I call it a lavish lifestyle, but like a very comfortable way of living, to where now you have to sell your property, your house, and everything just to make ends meet, and then just downsize. Are you gonna be okay?
Well, I think that's when I think when you're with somebody, I think you should kind of have a sense of, like, no matter what, they're gonna be here with me. You know what I mean?
And I mean, a man for the most part, like 80% of the time, knows, like, if the woman's just there for their financial gain,
for sure,
or if they're actually there for you. And a lot of times, the men will they'll still get with a woman that they know is not going to stick around, but in the back of their head, their mind, they're thinking, like, give it about 5 more years, I'll find me another one. And that's just the way, the mindset that they are. But then, not all men are like that.
Yeah.
Like me, myself, I'm not gonna put myself in financial, like, straight, and then, like, and invest in someone, and then, like, later on down the line, they're like, oh, well, you can't take me to Miami twice a year, and I want to go to Europe four times a year. And I was like,
I think you start to see that up front, like, early on. Like, you start to see, like, what the expectations are. But it's if you never, like, gave her that type of lifestyle, or you never shown that, then that shouldn't be expected, right?
True.
But if she's, like, all of a sudden, maybe y'all did it 1 year because maybe you just, like, got a bonus or something, or whatever the case may be, and then all of a sudden she wants it to be the norm, then those are some red flags going off,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because she's expecting a life that's not of the norm
Yeah,
that
it's
y'all
not
are normally, yeah,
realistically
that y'all are not normally doing.
accustomed to.
So yeah, those are some definite big red flags. So another fun fact, solo travel is booming. Over 70% of solo travelers are women. So more women that are single are choosing to travel solo nowadays versus going on trips with somebody. They're tired. And I know it's so funny because Jessica and Annette they want to go travel and they want to do stuff, and they're like, let's get it out of the group chat. And so it's funny, a lot of these women are 70% of women are like, I'm gonna go, like I'm not waiting on anybody else. Would you travel alone?
I have, I mean, not anywhere like too far, but I have done some things alone. I mean, I travel for work all the time and I'm always by myself,
But that's different,
that is
yeah.
for work. But yeah, it's mainly because it's like there's so many people that are like late to jump the gun, and like they talk a big talk and they don't really do much.
Yeah.
So just kind of have to, I guess.
What destination would you consider going solo, and for how long?
I want to go to Alaska.
Alaska?
I want to see
You
the
in this
wilderness.
fucking cold weather.
Well, I don't you don't have to go in the
Well, yeah, it's your
there's
solo trip.
They have
You know
no,
what?
but
I take it back. It's
I'm not
your
even saying
solo trip.
I'm not even saying that, but I don't have to go around the wintertime. They have a summer season
Do
in Alaska.
they?
They do have a summer season.
What type of summer?
Like 80 degrees, 70
No
degrees.
way.
Yeah. Really what I want to do is like, I know your whole like you're against like hunting and everything, and I'm not saying I go
I'm not
hunting all the
against
time.
hunting. It's not for me.
I want to go hunt a moose.
You know what? I'm not about to do that.
Mooses are fucking big.
Yeah.
I just want to experience it. Like,
I'm not about. Have you seen me run?
no, we have to. I want to get that on video. Yeah.
There's just. I probably run like so fucking slow.
You know, I want to get one of those speed guns to see like the top speed that both of us put out there. Look, go get you some running shoes.
Could you imagine?
Uh-huh.
You're like. Remember when we were running because I lost my phone?
Yeah, and I had to turn back a few times.
And I just said, just go, just go. You were coming back and I was still running.
Yeah. Well, you said it yourself. You're more of a cheetah, like short spurts at like a top speed, and I'm more of a like long distance.
Granted, I was in sandals.
Yeah, you were.
I was in those slides. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. It was the slides holding me back.
The slides were holding me back.
The slides were holding me back.
It was that Puerto Rico humidity. Oh my god! Because it had rain that day.
It did rain that day. What day did it not rain?
The last day.
We might as well have just extended our trip, or we missed our flight anyway. So they're saying basically 65% of single adults are content as fuck. Due to a couple of things. They feel like they have more freedom, more independence, time to glow up. Like they don't have to worry about another person and having to deal with what they got going on. They are solely capable of just focusing on them and their freedom. Do you feel like if you are ever in a relationship, or when you were in a relationship, that you felt like you lost a little bit of freedom?
Yeah, but I think that comes with being in a relationship in general. It's like when you're single, you can get up and go whenever.
It still hasn't turned on, has it? I'm sweating.
Are you? I feel some type of air right here. Take another sip of that meat check.
It's actually hurting my stomach.
It's the ice.
It might be it's tap water. I don't drink tap water.
Oh, bougie.
I drink that Saratoga.
Oh,
I've
Saratoga.
never tried that.
I actually had like 4 cases of that Saratoga from a job, but I didn't like the way it tasted, so I gave it to one of the guys at work.
Why? Why didn't you give it to me?
Oh, you weren't talking to me.
Oh, shots fired.
No, it's just.
Here's a good one. So there's a new term called singleism. So it's basically like you're still single after a certain period of time, and especially like if you're over your 30s. Let me see. They say that the idea that if you're single, something must be wrong with you. Do you think that if somebody's single for a certain amount of time, that it's almost like, is something wrong with you? Because why have you been single for so long?
I can see that. I used to think that about myself for a long time. Like,
What's the longest you've been single?
yeah, what, like years, really? Like, I haven't had too many like relationships. I mean, I've had like I've dated, but like
How many serious relationships have you had?
serious relationships,
Like serious relationships.
maybe 3.
Okay. At what age, I should say?
So,
Don't count high school. That doesn't count.
well, no, I'm not gonna count high school, but I'm saying like so the reason why I was single for the longest and I didn't once I felt like I was getting to a point with someone, I would kind of distance myself because I didn't want to get hurt. So like in high school, I got hurt in high school, and then like about a year or 2 after high school, and then from then I kind of just like said to myself like, no, that's not gonna be me, and I'm just gonna be like just dating around,
Yeah.
and just like casually date people, and that was the result of it because I didn't want to feel that way anymore. And then later in life, I kind of was like, even though I would like date multiple women, I was like lonely, if that makes any sense,
Yeah.
because like I wasn't actually like getting to know any of them.
Because
Or
you didn't want to, or you were scared?
I was scared to. And then once I wanted to, they didn't want to get to know me, and they were just more like, hey, I'm out.
Do you think now, looking back on it, do you think they acted that way because you were so standoffish, and then you were like, okay, I think I'm ready, and they're like, no, I'm done.
I think so. At least the majority of them, maybe. But I also think that a lot of them came into it knowing what they were getting into, and that it was just something to have fun with. Because I felt like I felt like I was either the in betweener or like the rebound guy, somebody that had just had fun with, and then just go back to either the guy you were with or move on to the guy you're supposed to be with.
Really?
And for a while, I was content with that. But then after a while, I started feeling bad for myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Because for a while, I did feel like I was like the guy you were with in between your last relationship and the one you're supposed to be with. Because I kid you not, like there's quite a few women that after they were around with me, end up either getting married, having children, vice versa. I mean, some of them ended up getting divorced.
Was this like in your early 20s and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like women are just figuring it out too. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm not like justifying what they did, but I'm just saying, like, I think 20s, you really don't. I don't think anybody really knows what they really want.
I mean, some people do, but not the majority of them.
You know, I feel like some people, yes, I feel like there definitely can be that like handful of people, but I feel like that comes from like you were raised by some parents who really like instilled some really great knowledge in you because they are so intellectually mature that they made you so self-aware and so self-confident and so allowed you to express yourself? Because like I feel like in our culture, like, you know, if we wanted to express our emotions, we really couldn't. We weren't allowed to, because nobody wanted to hear us cry.
No.
Nobody wanted to hear us whine, or, you know, we really
Or like,
couldn't.
I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah. Or like if, you know, like your mom instills like, don't get pregnant, and it's one of those like, don't touch the stove because it's hot.
And then you go and touch
And then
it.
but you're like, oh, I want to touch the stove. Like, how hot is it?
It's one of those things to where, like, if maybe they wouldn't have said it, I wouldn't have gone and done it.
Yeah.
It's like, don't get pregnant. Oh, let me go do that.
Yeah. All right. So let's give love some credit, okay? There's something beautiful about connection. Studies back it up. People insecure in healthy relationships often live longer. Reports better emotional well-being, but the key word is healthy. What do you define like a healthy relationship?
A healthy relationship. Well, before I answer that, go back to where it said that if you're anxious in a healthy relationship, you live longer. Is that what you said?
No, I said people insecure and healthy. Studies back it up. People insecure, healthy relationships often live longer and report better emotional well-being.
Okay, I heard that wrong. I thought you said insecure, but what you're saying
No,
is that they are in a secure
relationship.
Yeah, got it. They live a lot longer.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I would assume so. Like, they don't have anything that they have to worry about their partner. Like, I feel like if
No, but what do you define? How would you define a healthy relationship?
Well, just like what we were just talking about earlier, like talking it out. Like, if ever there was any type of disagreement between the two, like, we'd have to talk it out before either one of us goes to sleep, or say if one of us is going out of town, and just not leave that out there, or either one of us be mad, depending on who's wrong or who's right. Would be a healthy way to deal with it. One thing that I had to learn to do myself, because I was so, like I said, I was single for so long. I was just so used to just like, I'll leave it alone. And if she talks to me, she talks to me. She doesn't, I don't care. And that was my whole mentality. And 98% of the time, it worked, because women like that.
Like what?
They like to be mad or bring shit up or have unresolved.
Well, okay. I'm not gonna say women like that, because women don't like that.
But they still gravitate towards it. Was what I'm saying. Is because like I said, I wasn't doing it deliberately to like, I'm just gonna do this so she could, like, so I can like hook her, have her on the line, and just like she's gonna come back around or whatever. But I noticed, like, as I was doing it, it was working 98% of the time. Like, if, like, say I went on a date with this one girl, and we went on a second date, and then one night she's calling me, but I have a date with somebody else, and then I bump into her out with somebody else.
But wait, are y'all in a relationship?
No.
Y'all are just talking.
We're just like dating or whatever, but
there's nothing been exclusive.
No.
Okay.
But that's one of those things to where, like, a lot of the people are like, oh, we've been on dates, like, but there hasn't been anything talked through. They're
just assuming that they're together, that y'all are together.
So I had that happen a couple times to where, like, oh, well, screw him, like this and that.
Have you ever been out on a date and then, like you said, you saw somebody and then they like came up to you and were like, what the fuck?
Once.
Oh my God, tell me what happened.
Once. But they didn't come up to me like while I was with the other person. It was more of a, like, they ran into me as I was walking to the restroom, and they're like, really? This is the reason why you've been avoiding me? You haven't answered my calls?
Yeah. What did you say?
I was like, hey, I'm out. Like, just like, if you're gonna make it a big deal, like, I'm just gonna leave or whatever. Like, you don't have to talk to me if you don't want to. And she kind of just stormed off. And I think that was like a Friday night. So come Saturday, 2 a.m, she's, hey, what are you doing?
2 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
She wanted that day.
So
She wanted that
yeah,
day.
so she was mad. She was mad at the moment, but then like later on, she just realized, I guess, like, hey, well, we're not together, and I mean, it's not like I didn't
Did you ever call her?
Did I ever call her?
Yeah, like, did you ever call her back? Or did you answer?
No, I think I did. I can't remember if I did or not, but I think I
Of course you
did.
answered.
But it was like, it was vice versa too. It was like I've run into women that like I had been on dates with that like would tell me like, oh yeah, like I can't see you with anybody else, like this and that, and then I'd be out and I'd run into them with
Wait,
guys, and they would
what?
introduce me like, hey, how's it going? This is my friend or whatever, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? And then like I'm like, okay, and then they were like, hey, like hit me up, like.
It's not like that.
It's not like that. Like he's just taking me out because I work with him or whatever. It's not, well, okay. But at the same time, I wasn't mad
Yeah. Well, you can't be mad.
because I was doing the same.
Yeah.
So
I feel like if there's no conversation of set of like we're exclusive, if there's no hard lunch, if there's no discussion of exclusivity, then you're not exclusive, right?
and then plus, like I said, it wasn't one of those things to where like I was spending like large amounts of time with them.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like I'd see them once every like 2 weeks or so. We hardly ever even spoke on the phone. It was a text here and there, and that was it. So it wasn't like we were talking every day. I was meeting them for lunch, and we were going on multiple days throughout the week. It wasn't anything like that. There was like off and on years where I would I would frequently like somehow like get back in contact with this one girl that we dated back and forth throughout the years, who was, I would say, the female me in a way. And she would like openly tell me, she's like, yeah, this guy took me out and I left him at that place where we're at because he was like getting all mad because he went to go get me a drink and I went and danced with this guy because he asked me to, and I'm like, I didn't see anything wrong with it. We were at I guess they were at some like honky tonk place or whatever. So it was like country, like it was like regular dancing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Though 2-step. And she didn't see anything wrong with it. And I told her, I'm like, well, you might not, he might, depend on how he is. You know, he's thinking like he's taking you out. Like he's spending some money on you. He's showing you a good time. Why would you go dance with somebody else? But she would tell me like,
she was dancing like flirting, or she was just dancing.
no, well, I didn't get too
into it?
into the like whatever it was. But she
Too
just
detailed.
said, yeah, too detailed. But she said that he threw a fit because when he came back with the drink, she was on the dance floor dancing with another guy.
Oh.
And so she said she didn't think anything of it. So then she told the guy, well, all right, I'm gonna go to the restroom, and called an Uber and left. And then I guess like he like called her and like was just like telling her like, I could go and find me somebody else.
So
There's women after me.
Okay, so she got on he went to go get drinks.
And a guy came by and asked if she wanted to dance.
And
so she said yes.
He came back with the drinks and he threw a fit.
He threw a fit.
She went to the restroom and called an Uber.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I could get.
Yeah, it's like, I can get other girls. And she basically said like, yeah, you're a 10 in that little small town that you're at. You're probably a 6 anywhere else. Is what she told me. And she told him.
Oh, she told him that.
Yeah. And then she went on to tell me about how she has a guy that takes her out to eat and somebody that pays for her nails, and somebody that like she had a guy for everything, right? And then I was the guy she
sprinkle.
Yeah, so basically I was the guy she had fun with, and all these other guys are like financing different things for her.
You were the guy she had fun with.
Yeah, I was basically I was the guy she liked, but not enough to where like she wanted to move forward with anything else. And I saw her the same way. Well,
probably because she was like, I have fun with you, but I don't want to lose my other supporters.
Yeah, basically. And I mean, eventually,
would you have taken her seriously?
No, I don't think I would be able to. It's just she told me so many things
that you saw her in a different light.
Yeah.
Because she was. So do you think that her being as transparent as she was, y'all weren't exclusive, but as being as transparent as she was, so was that almost
a turnoff?
A turnoff.
It was. It was.
Would you have preferred her not to tell you any of that?
I would have preferred for her to keep certain things to herself. But she,
I definitely think she overshared for sure. But I think it was a catch-22. I think she was being transparent, but I also think that it hurt her in the.
Yeah, she just said too much.
Yeah,
because I mean, like in a committed relationship, yeah, like you should talk about everything, but you shouldn't talk about everything, if that makes any sense. Like there's certain things you shouldn't like just like throw out there unless asked, but at the same time it's one of those things to where like y'all start talking about things and then you start feeling a certain way, like and it happens all the time. It's like they start talking about like past relationships or like how did you meet this person, how long were you with that person, how did you feel with that person. I'm like,
do you think that you attract a certain type of woman or did attract a certain type of woman with the same like traits?
No, I think that's the only thing that wasn't reoccurring with me. It's like it was like all walks of life, different type of women. There was one night where I wasn't even trying to go anywhere and my buddies dragged me out and we went to some place. I don't even think it's there anymore. It's in South Dallas. It was called Tiffany's. It was like an after hours bar. I was in there like 2 minutes and the girl came by and squeezed my nuts and said she wanted a little Mexican baby. and my mind reverted back to like when I was younger and I would go to DMX and it was so packed that you can just like kind of just grab as much as you wanted to and nobody would know where it's coming from.
Yeah,
and I was like, now I know how they feel. And I feel bad for myself.
Yeah.
Especially because she had big hands.
Oh, I don't know if that was a she.
No, it was a she. She was just tall. I think she was like in the WNBA or something. It's a big black girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was tall.
Okay. I'll let you tell it.
No, yeah, she was tall. She was a big girl. And she wanted a little Mexican baby, and I said no.
You said no.
No, I walked away.
Come back. Let me have a couple of drinks. Yeah. Circle back.
No, not even. There's like
circle back, baby.
Like we've had this conversation. It does not matter how many drinks I'm having. I'm not. If I have it in my head that I won't do it, it won't happen.
Have you ever gotten so drunk on a first date?
No.
No? What about a second date?
Maybe not on the second. I have to be comfortable with you for me to overdrink.
First of all, you should never overdrink.
No, yeah, I know that.
You need to be protecting the woman.
I get that.
That was a test and you failed.
Oh, I failed. Whenever we are out, like moderate with water and
let's tell me your recipe to make sure you don't overdrink. Tell me your recipe.
One, it's never beer before liquor. It's always liquor before beer. But if you're gonna start to mix the two, you always drink liquor before you drink beer, because then you're gonna mess up. But it's always like 2 beers, 1 glass of water. But I stick to beer. I try not to do. I mean, like I'm not much into shots. If I'm drinking liquor, like I just stick to liquor. I like whiskey. The thing I like about beer is I can have quite a few beers and be okay.
Okay.
So I don't like to be. I like to be in the under the influence, but not to where like it's impairing my judgment.
Yeah. How many times do you think you would say you saw me in my low stage?
Quite a few. And I've seen different
stages of it. Okay. What's a core memory that you have of that?
Can I say it on here?
Yeah, if I don't like it, I'll take it out. If I don't like it, I'll just cut it out. What's a core memory?
Well, so not to get too graphic, the time I picked you up and in the middle of you like wanted to throw up, you just like lost all train of thought and you said, ooh, we love a strong man.
So what do you think that, because I feel like nowadays a lot of women are choosing to stay single because of, I think, the what we call sassy man apocalypse, sassy man apocalypse. More, I feel like more men want to be catered to the way a woman should be catered to, like traditionally. Do you think that chivalry is dead?
No, I don't think it's dead. I just don't think it's practiced much.
Do you think it's because millennials didn't pass that down, or maybe they never even did it during their courting?
It could be
So their kids don't know.
I could say it could be a little both. Like when I was growing up, my dad was always open the door, close the door. You know, hi, bye, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You pay when you invite. You should never let a woman pay. Women go first. All of that stuff, right? And I try to instill that in my sons too, as well. Like, be nice to your sister. Let your sister go in first.
Yeah.
Women first. Don't hit a woman, stuff like that. Like, but I could say, yeah, maybe there's a lot of people that weren't taught that way, and they didn't instill it in their kids growing up. So, I mean, I've seen it firsthand because I've seen like my nephews, like they'll get to the house or whatever, and they're walking in first, and then girls coming in behind them or whatever. They don't even fucking leave the door open. They leave the door open, but they just keep walking by like they're like, oh, I'm already in. But I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or they just even know that they're doing it. But it's one of those things.
Did you know that when the proper etiquette for a man when they open the door is not to have the woman walk in first? They are technically supposed to walk in first and then like tell them like, okay, come on in.
Yeah. So it's basically
you
like
don't do that for
you're
me.
supposed to walk in first and make sure that assess the situation, make sure there's not a killer in there, and then you walk in.
So I die every time.
You die every time.
Yeah.
Well, that's because we're walking into familiar places. Like,
is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Oh, because it was safe last time. It's safe this time.
It's your apartment. Why wouldn't it be safe? Who's going to be in here?
I'm not talking about my apartment. I'm talking about public places.
Oh, well, public places. Well, that's like I said, it was just instilled in me. You open the door, you let the woman in first. But I know what you meant, and I have heard that before. Like the men's supposed to go in. It's kind of like they're the first line of fire.
Right.
So they're like first defense. So
you don't want me to get ran over, but you want me to get shot.
Well, yeah, because you always seem to walk on the wrong side of the. How many times do I have to move you from one side to the other? I'm like, you walk on this side, and then you end up on the other, and you walk on this side because I don't want you to get ran over. Somebody's getting ran over. It's gonna be me.
I had to tell the boys that the other day whenever we were out. I said, you just gonna let me get ran over? And I said, you have to walk on the side of the street. The woman always walks on the inside because if anything should happen, you should be able to push them out of the way. And he was like, my son was like, okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, oh God, I don't want him to be like, don't court.
Yeah.
Like you need a court. So I'm always like, no.
But then does that fall on you?
I think it falls on multiple people, not just on me.
Yeah, because I constantly tell my kids that all the time. Like,
I think I raised them single to a certain age, and then they had a dad. They with my ex and stuff, and we raised them together. So I'm not necessarily saying it falls on him, but who did you learn that from?
My dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's that answer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my mom taught me a lot of things as well.
Yeah.
She said, as soon as you can flip that tortilla without using anything, that's it. You might as well get married.
You're a man now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I felt so mellow right now. Like this episode's gonna be like super like chill.
Super chill.
Normally I'm like, fuck him. Right?
Yeah, I mean, because you're doing this. So
Fuck that guy. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode. I hope we got some information across, but I hope you enjoyed our fun little stories. And thank you again for Silent Ellen coming back on and spilling all the tea.
Didn't spill too much.
A little ladies' man back in the day.
I wouldn't call myself a ladies' man.
Well,
I was more of a doormat.
I don't think you were a doormat.
No.
I don't remember or seeing you as a doormat.
No, I didn't mean it in that way. I meant it more of as I was like the stepping stone to like getting into a committed relationship.
So would you consider yourself the lucky charm?
I was basically, what's that movie called? Good Luck Chuck.
Good luck, Chuck.
I was Good Luck Chuck.
So would you consider yourself the lucky charm?
I guess, but I mean, not all of them stayed married. So I guess it.
I mean, I think you got them to that point. That's on them afterwards, right?
They had to make it work from there.
Yeah. You gave them the D and they felt the, and after that, that's on them.
It's on them.
All right, guys. Well, I will see you in my next episode. My area has changed again. I am undecided. I'm undecided if I like it. I've been going back and forth about it, so I don't know. It might stay like this. I mean, they're here. The sofas are here. The couches are here.
They're here to stay.
They're here to stay. So I'll figure it out. But all right, guys, that is my episode for the third time. I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. And I also did have a poll on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on my Instagram, let's be friends, connect. And also on Threads. I got on Threads, and who knew what type of networking that was? I've never used Threads. Do you use Threads?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh my God. Okay. I'll show you after this. All right, guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. I'm sweating. Oh my God. Do you think my AC is messed up? No way. It was just working, right? Cheers.
Cheers.
To our second episode.
Yes, officially second episode.
I didn't have silicone straws.
Bruh.
Only because like I'm trying to save the turtles.